You have the floor.
All right, yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, as rightly said by the moderator, my name is Taufik Badmos. I hope you can hear me clearly.
Yes, we can.
All right, okay. So permit me to share my screen, please. I have some presentation here. Okay.
Mr. Falabi, please allow him to share his screen.
Can you see my screen, please?
Yes, we can.
You can see the presentation screen?
Yes.
All right, okay. Yeah, I'm going to talk on this particular topic, which is positioning yourself for master and PhD scholarships abroad, rather. And I'm a PhD student in the University of Nottingham, United Kingdom, and I won my PhD through PTDF Scholarship. And as rightly said by a lot of the previous presenters about different scholarships that we have. So I won a scholarship from Nigeria, which is a federal government scholarship, which is a Petroleum Technology Development Fund scholarship. Yeah, so these are the outlines of the presentation I'll talk about as regards the winning of a scholarship or if you are planning to study abroad. So these are the things you have to take note when you want to go for scholarship abroad. Now, the first thing I will talk about is the educational background, which entails your academic qualifications and what are the professional membership or certificates that you have. For my own case, for the good thing is that you first have good academic qualifications. And for your first degree, I would advise you that if you are able to get at least second class upper for your master first degree program, where if you want to study abroad, or preferably if you have second class lower and
Mr. Taufik, please, we can't see your slide.
What?
We can only.
I thought you said you can see my slide before.
We can only see your screen, not the slide.
Okay. Let me stop sharing and do the sharing again. Okay. Can you see it now? Hello?
No.
You can't see it again?
You can't see. Okay. Not to waste our time, you can continue your presentation. I will share the slides on the Telegram platform.
Okay.
Slide is showing now.
Can you see the screen now?
Please continue your presentation. I will share this. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
But you've not displayed your slide.
I've done that before. Huh?
We can see your screen, but not the.
Okay, maybe I should continue my presentation. So as you said,
yes, continue your presentation. I will share the slide on the Telegram platform.
No problem with that. Okay. So, yeah, as I was saying, for the educational background, you have to look for the first degree if you are going for a master program. So your qualification for your first degree, if you have second class upper, that will be good. If you have first class, that's great. And don't think if you don't have first class or you don't have a second class, so you shouldn't think of a study abroad or you proceed for your studies. So that is not the case. It all depends on what is your goal and what are the your prospects. So what you aim to do and what you aim to achieve. So basically, you have to get a good academic qualifications, which entails your first degree and as well as the master degree. So after that, we have some professional membership. You can have some local, which is Nigeria Computer Society in the case of computer students. We have the Nigeria Society of Engineers for engineering students, and we have COREN, which is the Council for Regulation of Engineering in Nigeria, and we have CPN and others. And we also have international professional membership as well, such as IEEE and the Institute of International Association of Engineers as well. So another thing for professional certification, we can think of the network certifications by applying through the Cisco Networking Academy, and talk about this database, Oracle, the Microsoft, and the Google certifications. So you also need all these things as your educational background, and that you have to get when you are taking up study abroad or you proceed your studies after your undergraduate studies. Now, the next thing you think about is you set your goal, and the goal is that you, after your first your undergraduate studies, are you interested in study further for your master's degree, or after your master you are thinking of going for PhD as well, or you think about maybe I have to first look for a job. After the job, then I can proceed for my further studies. Now, so if actually you have decided after your undergraduate studies and that I want to go for further studies, such as a master's and a PhD, so you must first think about the finance that you have to incur for that particular program. So we have it in two phases. We have the self-sponsors and we have the scholarship. Self-sponsor in the sense that you are the one trying to sponsor yourself for that program abroad, and why we have the scholarship, as rightly mentioned by other presenters, that there are lots of scholarship we have in the world. But all what you have to think about is that what are the things that I need to put in place to secure the scholarship? Just as in my own case for the PTDF scholarship, which I will talk on that later before the end of the presentation. Now, likewise, if you think of going for a job first, you must first think about that. Am I going for a job related to my field, or I'm going for a job that is not related to my field? Now, if your aim is to first go for a job and before your further study, I would advise you that you go for a job that is related to your field, because at the end of the day, by the time you have acquired money, get everything in place, and you decided to go for your further study, so it will, that job that you have secured and you have worked in an industry or other research institute or whatever, will actually assist you during the course of your program, either for your master's or PhD. So you must look at this as well as your goal setting. Now, the other thing you must also look about is that, I've decided to go for further study, and I'm now looking for scholarship opportunities. Now, if you're now looking for scholarship opportunities, then what are the things I have to put in place to get scholarship? And I'm talking about the supporting documents. Another thing I will talk about is determination and persistency and dedication. So, because these three key things is those practical things I applied during my own time, which at the end of the day, I'm fortunate to be able to secure the scholarship. Now, for the supporting documents, what are those supporting documents you must think about? You must look at your academic transcripts. In the case of first degree, and if you are going for your master, you get your first degree and academic transcripts. You apply to your school, and what I will advise you to do is that transcript is not easy to get in most schools in Nigeria. So it's better you apply as early as possible so that it won't be a transcript that at the end of the day we forfeit that scholarship for you or the admission. So another thing is if you are going for your PhD degree scholarship or program, you have to get your both first degree and master degree academic transcripts. but not all schools that, just like one of the presenters said, that there are some schools that can take you directly for your PhD program without even masters in the first instance. But, well, for the Nigeria situation, which I'm in academics in Nigeria, so I mean particular universities, so there are some kind of a problem that we have in that country, that they will even be talking about that if you have PhD directly without masters, they will still be discriminated at the end of the day. If at the end of the day you are still coming back to Nigeria to work, so which I hope with time maybe that one can be removed or not. I don't know. So another thing that you have to think about is the English proficiency test. And for the English proficiency test, we have IELTS, we have the TOEFL. For like a UK where I am now, I think mostly they talk about the IELTS, and schools in the US or Canada make use of the TOEFL. And for going for English proficiency test, as rightly said by the other presenters, is that not all schools or scholarship require English proficiency test. But one thing you must be very sure of is that not all scholarship will take everybody at the same time. So it all depends on how can you differentiate or distinguish yourself among the other peers that you are competing together for this particular scholarship. So it is better you over prepared. So those are the very important things you have to take notes. Now there are some waiver, like those people that have maybe A1 in the English language during their O level. So those people have more chances of skipping the English proficiency test. That's for that. Now, another thing is there are some schools that require for graduate record exams, the US school, but here in UK, I don't think it's always compulsory for most of the programs, but there are some programs like economics or some management programs that you have to take some of these exams like GMAT and GRE. So likewise, you have to take into consideration and your international passport. For if you are planning to study overseas, you have to get your international passport ready, and you get it as soon as possible, because you have set your goal that yes, I want to go for further studies. So all these things you have to put them in place for your further studies. Now, if you are going for PhD, one of the important things that you have to also get is your research proposal, which I'm going to talk about the components of that in the subsequent slide. And likewise, if you are going for your master's degree program, you have to come up with your statement of purpose or motivation statement or something like that, because that is one of those things that will be used to evaluate you, whether you are actually worth the scholarship, and you will, at the end of the day, finish the program as early as possible. So now, when you are looking for scholarship, as I said, you have to still look at something we call determination and persistency. Now, according to Kenneth, he said that it is your determination and persistence that will make you a successful person. So determination in the sense that yes, you have to be determined that yes, I'm planning to go for further studies. So you are determined to study further. The next question is that how persistent are you in pursuing this? So you must highlight some of the things that you think you have to put in place in order to achieve your set goals, which is study further in your academic studies. Now, apart from the determination and the persistency, you must also be a dedicated person. So dedication is very important, because according to S-Rock, he said determination is nothing without dedication and hard work. So in the sense that you are determined, but how dedicated are you? How much effort do you put in place to achieve all your set goals? So you have to be dedicated, because with hard work and dedication, anything is possible, according to Timothy Ware. So those things are very important when you are looking for scholarship opportunities, because along the way you will be frustrated just like as rightly said by other presenters, that you may apply for many scholarship and at the end of the day you get rejected. In my own case now, the first scholarship I applied for was NITDA, followed by Presidential Scholarship, and before that I also applied for PTDF, which I later won that. So that's about that. And now when I'm going to talk about the writing research proposal and statement of purpose. If you want to write your research proposal and statement of purpose, there are some things that you have to think about to come up with a good research proposal and statement of purpose. What are those things? We talk about the skills that you have acquired in terms of hard or soft skills, in terms of the degree or the certificate you have, in terms of your computing skills, your programming skills, and other skills like that. So for the soft skills, these are kind of a sociable skills that you have to also get to communicate with people of at different background level. You know, like our own case now in Nigeria, we have different cultures, we have different religion. There are some soft skills, interpersonal skills that you have to possess, because when you come here, you also meet people with different background and culture and beliefs. So those things are also very important. You have to gather your soft skills ready for your study abroad. And among those soft skills that you have to gather ready is communication skills, your teamwork, time management skills, and leadership skills. So those things are very important as well whenever you want to study abroad and you are looking for a scholarship. Now, for you to identify potential supervisor, you have to first identify your research interest and area. After that, you go to the web search engine. You search for some of the schools that you think you want to go and further your studies. And it also depends on the country you are interested in. So we have a lot of countries in the world. So if you decide to come to UK, you type some of the scholarship in UK. Maybe you put the years as well. So if you are able to identify a particular school, all what you need to do for you to identify a potential supervisor is that you have to visit the school website. When you visit the school website, there are some, the way this website will be organized is all varies. So if you have visited the school website, you can see a search box, so which you can type maybe the research area, the faculty, the department that you think you want to further your study. So basically, the step is that you visit the school website, look for the faculty. Within the faculty, you can have departments and a research group. So within that research group, you will have list of supervisors, research scholars that with their research interests and their emails. So now try to compare their research interest and area with yours that you have already identified. If it matches them, you can actually now contact those supervisors by sending them emails. And if you want to send them emails, you try to send your transcript, maybe your student copy. You send your maybe some kind of a one-page summary of your research proposal for now, and likewise you send a kind of you send your transcript, as I said, your certificate. You don't need to send your certificate yet. Only transcript is enough, as well as the one page of your summary of your research proposal. So you can then send to the supervisor and wait the reply from the supervisor. So that is for you how to identify your potential supervisor for your program. Now for research proposal, what are the things expected in a research proposal as well as the statement of purpose? For statement of purpose, which is for the master's students, make sure that your statement of purpose is around 500 words. It's no more than that. And what are the things that is expected from you when you are writing your statement of purpose? Your motivation for embarking on further study, you have to let them know that what motivates you. Why do you want to further your study? and what are the already acquired soft and hard skills, and you think that it will help you to succeed in your program. And you must also state in the statement of purpose the short-term and long-term career goals, your future plan, and as said by one of the presenter, what will be the contributions at the end of the day to the country after your study. So that is for the statement of purpose. For a research proposal, you must come up with a good research proposal around 1,000 to 3,000 words. Within your research proposal, you have an introduction. We talk about the general overview of your research area of interest, the background, what have been done previously. You do the review of relevant literature and theories in order to identify research gap. What I mean by research gap is that what actually is going to be unique about your work at the end of the day, what is going to differentiate your work from others that is already on ground. So you have to identify a research gap. A clear research gap will actually give you opportunity to win a scholarship as well as to get admission when you want to study abroad. Now, you from your research proposal also develop research questions to be answered by your research. At the end of the day, what are your objectives? You can find solutions to all problems in life. So you define a scope of study of your work. What are the research methods? What are the methods I'm going to use for this research? In terms of maybe you have to set up experiment. Maybe in terms of you have to write some code and other things like that. You have to identify your research methods based on your formulated objectives. Now, very key important thing you must also think about is the novelty. What is unique, the innovation in your work, your contributions to knowledge in terms of maybe the research community as well as the community and the other community, which is the social community. So what will be the expected contribution of your work at the end of the day? I must also have a clear work plan. You can use Gantt charts, maybe because from so month to so month, I will involve in doing this particular task. From this so month and to another month, I will involve in doing this particular task. Because your potential supervisor will have to see that you have a clear research work plan, because that will let them know whether you can finish your program on time or not. So that is very, very important whenever you are coming up with your research proposal. So just take note of that as well. Now, at the last, I will now talk about my own case, my milestone as a case study. So I graduated from Ladoke Akitola University of Technology in 2011, and after my graduation, I went for my NYSC 2012. I came back 2013. And after that, I enrolled for my master degree program in the same institution 2014. And during the time I enrolled for my master degree program in LAUTECH, I have determination that I want to study abroad. As I have enrolled for a program, still I'm looking for opportunities to study abroad. So I'm doing things in parallel at that time, in the sense that I don't want to waste time. So my mind is to be in academics. Like if I want to be in academics, what are the things I have to put in place? So having a higher degree is also part of what I need. So all what I have done is I enrolled for master degree program in 2014 in LAUTECH. Likewise, I started looking for other opportunities by studying abroad. And in that 2014, there was a scholarship, which is called a presidential scholarship by the former President Jonathan, President Blake Jonathan. That is the first class student. I think I did the scholarship initially in 2013 when I was in I was doing my NYC at that time. So I went for that scholarship, but unfortunately, I couldn't get the scholarship in 2013. But because of my determination and dedication, I still have to apply for that scholarship again in 2014. On that 2014, I have opportunity of like 2 scholarships at that time. I have an opportunity for PTDF's Master Scholarship, as well as that Proceed Scholarship. I enrolled for both scholarship the same year, which is 2014. The funniest thing about those two scholarships is that the scholarship, because we have to go for the aptitude test for that scholarship. I could remember for PTDF, I think I have PTDF scholarship by Saturday at Lagos. And by Monday, I have received scholarship in Abuja. And as at that time, I was in Ekiti as at Friday. So all what I have to do is that definitely I have like a scholarship in Lagos Saturday, another scholarship in Abuja on Monday, the following Monday. And I'm currently in Ekiti. So I can't do anything. You know, for some other people, I cannot make it. No, because of my determination, I still say, yes, I will go for these two scholarships. I make sure that I went for the aptitude test. So I have to take bus from Ekiti down to Lagos on Friday. That Friday, so when I reach Lagos, on Saturday, I went for that PTDF scholarship. So I did that PTDF scholarship. But, you know, one thing I found out during my own journey is that it's not always easy if you don't have a financial backup much when you want to go for, you are looking for scholarship and other things like that. Because looking for, at my own case now, I've finished PTDF scholarship in Lagos on Saturday. The best option for me if I want to go for that Prestige scholarship in Abuja is to take flight from Lagos. But because of financial constraints, all what I can think of is to go and still get bus on Sunday down to Abuja. But I did one thing on that day. What I did is that, yes, I have to get bus, but I shouldn't get a bus that I will be totally weak for that scholarship that I want to do on Monday. So all what I did is I just went to take some of these God is Good bus, which is full AC. Now I took that bus from Lagos to Abuja on Sunday, and I arrived at Abuja late in the night. So to be honest with you, that night I couldn't try any revision or do any other thing other than to sleep. So I slept, and the following day I went for the scholarship aptitude test. But that 2014, I can tell you that the two scholarships, I didn't get it. That 2014. So still, I'm not still. I still have the determination that I still want to study abroad. So I still continue my program in Lautech. But I now assume that yes, if I couldn't get scholarship for my master's degree program, I will ensure that I finish my master's degree program in Lautech, and I now have full determination that I'm not going to do my PhD in Nigeria. I will have to get scholarship to sponsor my PhD. I can't still use my money to sponsor myself for my PhD. So that was my determination. So at the end of the day, I finished my master's degree program in 2018 at Lautech due to some kind of industrial action. So in 2019, I've started work, and I enrolled for, I still applied for PTDF Scholarship in 2019. Unfortunately for me, I was able to put up a good research proposal with some of the, I still have to make mention of that. In 2013, that was when I couldn't get the two scholarships, PTDF and Proceed. But in 2014, that I went for presidential scholarship again. So I was picked among those that came for the scholarship as well. So I think we are almost 900 and something plus. So and the shortlisted 102. So I was among the list shortlisted. But because of the change in government, we all know Nigeria factor, they later scrapped that scholarship. To the best of my knowledge, I've been seeing scholarships in Nigeria that is so. Hello, am I communicating?
Yes, we are hearing you.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, I just want to be. I've been seeing a kind of fair and highly competitive scholarship, and scholarship without manipulation in a year. I'm saying this on my part. Presidential scholarship is one of the scholarship I know very well, because this scholarship is so transparent in the sense that it was anchored by NUC executive, even the old body that is controlling all the universities in Nigeria. So this scholarship was anchored by that university, by that body. So we went for the scholarship. We did aptitude test. We even got our results. We did the CBT test instantly. We even have to sign on our scores. But at the end of the day, out of 900 and something plus that we sat for the scholarship exam, 102 was successful at the end of the day. But I was so embarrassed that at the end of the day, this scholarship was scrapped because of change in government. So all that doesn't actually stop me from pursuing my set goals and determination. I'm still much more dedicated. So that's why I still have to apply for a scholarship in 2019 when I finish my program. And I must still say this. In that 2019, I applied for 2 scholarships again. I applied for NITSDA scholarship and I applied for PTDF scholarship. But I couldn't get NITSDA as well. But I was fortunate to get PTDF scholarship at that time. But what I also like about PTDF scholarship is that you come up with a research proposal that's related to oil and gas industry. But I have to say this thing. Some people will think that if I want to go for PTDF scholarship, how can I come up with a proposal that is related to oil and gas industry? I also faced that problem initially, because the method I normally use for my master's degree program, which was patronage to model a particular system, I only applied that method to an production system. So I was not thinking, how can I use this kind of method to apply for anything related to oil and gas industry? That was the first challenge I faced when I want to apply for PTDF scholarship. But I will always tell you this thing. There is nothing that is impossible. It all depends on how you reason and you try to brand and package yourself, that at the end of the day, you are able to get it. So I have to go online, look at some of the literature that has been done. Now, I said this same concept that I'm talking about is a system modeling concept. When we are talking about oil and gas industry, we have a lot of facilities there, which it will be somehow even difficult to interact with in real life. Why can't you think in the lines of modeling and simulation of such a system? So that's why I was able to use the same method I used for my master degree program project and apply it to a particular oil and gas asset facilities, such as a separator. So all what I want to bring here is that don't ever think that nothing is impossible. Just think of how you can brand it, or you package it, or you just think wider so that you'll be able to get it right at the end of the day. So to conclude my presentation, I'm currently now in 3rd year of my PhD in the University of Nottingham. So I hope this presentation will be in one way or the other helpful to those listening to me. Thank you for giving me a privilege to make this presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Taufik.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for your time.
Yeah.
Now, I know winning a Nigerian scholarship is not an easy task, and Mr. Taufik has informed us how uneasy it is to win a scholarship in Nigeria. I know there are many things he would like to say, that there are many, as in winning scholarship in Nigeria, there will always be political interference. And that is a fact. That is a fact. As in, those people that applied for PTDF scholarship this year, the feedback we got from them was not a good one. At all. But we give thanks to God. Mr. Taufik was able to sail through. So winning a Nigerian scholarship is not an easy task, and winning any scholarship at all is not an easy task. It requires determination. It requires dedication and it requires persistency to win a Nigerian scholarship. Thank you very much, Mr. Tafik, for your time. If any of our participants have any questions for you, we'll send them across to you. Thank you very much.
All right.
Now, I'll be